Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss everything financial literacy. Today, we're going to show you step-by-step how to remove that late payment from your credit report. And this is not going to be writing or goodwill letters. We're not going to be giving them a call. This will be an updated method. It does not require the CFPB. However, I do want to state at the time of recording this video, the CFPB method does still work. The CFPB is still open. You can send your disputes through the CFPB, but as we've seen, things happen very quickly. It's good that if anything does change, that there is a new method already published and ready to go that I can send you if or when anything does change in the future. Now, on-time payments account for 35% of your overall credit score. That is the biggest factor affecting your credit score to date. So even if you had a perfect 850 credit score right now, and you had one late payment that reported 30 days past due, it could drop your score on average 100 points, not to mention it stays on your report for up to 7 years. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. The first thing I want to talk about is where you can view your credit report. Now, annual credit report is the only source for your free credit report that is authorized by the federal government. It's also the only credit report that shows the full payment history in its entirety. All right. If you would like to get that, go to annualcreditreport.com. That is free on a weekly basis as of the time of recording this video. Now, my other recommendation is Identity IQ. You can start a free trial for $1. The link is in the description. The reason why I like to use this method with late payments is because it actually shows each account side by side and just makes it very easy to show that this information is inaccurate. That's really it. You can also get the same information from annualcreditreport.com, and you can simply screenshot each one and upload all three. Either way is good. It doesn't really matter which way, but one method you have is free. The other one does have that free trial. So if you just need to use it just long enough to complete this method, then it'll only cost you $1. All right. So let's move on to the next step. Now, for this example, I'm going to be using an old screenshot from Identity IQ, and it's going to be a screenshot for late payments. Now, this is going to be very, very simple. Once you're signed into Identity IQ and you're looking at your account that's late, you will see 3 different payment histories. All right. The reason why I brought up annual credit report is because where there's these white spots right here, more than likely these are on-time payments. But for whatever reason, there's no other source that you can get your credit report from except for annualcreditreport.com or straight from the bureaus. If you request the report, it'll show the full payment history. But what I do like is when you do have a late payment, they have to show it. And they have to show what comes after it as well. This basically means on TransUnion, there was a 30-day late payment in February, and in January, it was paid on time. Same thing with Experian, and then it shows February late, paid on time in January, paid on time in December. Equifax, there's more information, but as you can see, this is just what it's showing you. Now, here is what we're doing with this strategy. It's a very, very simple strategy. Go to the account that has a 30-day late payment. Look at the account. The first thing you want to look for is inaccuracies. Notice how on this one, Equifax right here shows that it was actually paid on time in February, but it's 30 days late in January. Vice versa, it's showing that it's paid on time in January for TransUnion and Experian, but it was 30 days late in February. So what you would do is take a screenshot just like this of your account, and then you would circle it just like this. The first thing you do is send a dispute to Equifax. I'm going to show you how to send the dispute after this. But when you send the dispute, you would simply say, hey, Equifax, on my credit report, I believe that this information is not accurate because it actually shows my account was paid on time January of 2020. As you can see here, January is paid on time for TransUnion. January is paid on time for Equifax. You are the only one showing that I was 30 days late. Can you update this information? More than likely, they will update the information. They will update it. And what's going to happen is Equifax will be completely paid on time. Then what do? Well, If Equifax is completely paid on time, there's no more 30-day late payments. We now take the new screenshot of Equifax and we say, hey, Experian and TransUnion, Equifax is actually paid on time for February of 2020. You are reporting inaccurate information. What happens after that? TransUnion updates, Experian updates, and now everything is paid on time. All we did was use the inaccurate information and played it against each one of the bureaus until everything was updated to paid on time. Now, I also have another video that shows you what to do if you don't have these inaccuracies. I haven't updated that method yet, but I will be doing it very soon. The other video still works. If you want to watch that video, I'll link it here, but it's how to remove late payments, and it shows you how to do it if there's no inaccuracies. This one is going to be showing you how to do it in the case that you do have an inaccuracy. You're going to make sure that you're showing the account name, make sure that you're showing the account number, and make sure that you're showing all 3 bureaus that are reporting. And then you want to screenshot this, you want to circle this, and in this situation, if I were you, I would first start with Equifax, because already 2 of the bureaus in this example are reporting paid on time, paid on time. So you already have 2 bureaus that are saying that this information, it should be consistent. The only one that's not is Equifax. So if you can get Equifax to change it, Equifax is now completely paid on time. Now you can use Equifax to change Experian and TransUnion. Now, before we move on to the next step, I want to make this a new thing now. Whenever I'm making any updated videos to this credit repair stuff, I want to make sure that I'm showing you how you can find the answer to these questions for the future. Like I told you in previous videos, if I'm not making any more credit repair videos or updating this information, you need to be able to know how to find out all this stuff for yourself. So I'm going to show you exactly how I figure out all this information. Now, I'm going to link this in the description. What you are looking at right now is the Fair Credit Reporting Act. There was a revision back in May of 2023. This is your rights. This is how you get things changed on your credit report, by understanding this. As long as this does not change, your rights do not change. It doesn't matter if the CFPB is closed down. It doesn't matter if the FTC is closed down. It doesn't matter if the Better Business Bureau is closed down, which, again, all of these places are all open right now. All of them are open at the time of recording this video. But I'm just saying the methods don't change. If you didn't have the CFPB, you could do exactly what we just talked about, but mail a letter certified. There's also online services that allow you to mail letters without having to get up and leave your house. So worst case scenario, all of the methods on my channel still work. You just can mail a letter. That's like the worst case scenario. If you can't send it through the CFPB, that's the only thing that changes. Nothing changed with the method. You just mail a letter. That's it. All right. But again, I'm going to show you another way to do it online for this video. I just want you to understand that this is where your information comes from. You don't have to ask me or anybody else on YouTube. You can figure it out for yourself. It's all here. And if there's nowhere for you to send it online, mail a letter. All right, so let's actually take a look at the FCRA, and then we'll get into some of the details here. All right, now, when you guys start asking me questions in the comments, I'm letting you know going forward, if it's something that can be answered in here, I'm probably going to just start sending this, especially if you are asking questions about, like, let's say a charge off and you're on your 3rd, 4th, or 5th round and you're asking me, what do I do if I don't have any more? I'm just going to send you this. Nothing I'm doing is anything special. It's all here. So if you want to know the answer, don't ask me. Look this up. All right. So I'm going to scroll down and just notice the contents. Permissible purposes of consumer reports. You might want to read that. Requirements relating to information contained in consumer reports. You may want to read that. Block of information resulting from identity theft. Looks familiar, right? Adverse information in cases of trafficking. I'm sure y'all have seen those hacks on YouTube. I hope that if I'm saying this, some of you, if you've been actively looking on YouTube, hopefully you're getting my point. You're understanding, like, right now what I'm trying to say. All right, let's scroll down. So this is where you guys are probably going to be looking when it comes to late payments. Section 623, responsibilities of furnishers of information to consumer reporting agencies. Why don't we take a look and see exactly what it says about this? You can click on it. It goes right to it. It's like magic. All right, responsibility of furnishers of information to consumer reporting agencies. You've probably seen this on a ton of videos. 15 USC 1681S. You probably noticed that most of the time, all of my verbiage is never actually used directly from here. Reason being, if you do that, sometimes it gets thrown out as frivolous when you just copy and paste what's in the FCRA. All right. You just need to basically restate what it says inside of here, but you put it in your own words. This is what you're going to be using for late payments. Reporting information with actual knowledge of errors. A person shall not furnish any information relating to a consumer to any consumer reporting agency if the person knows or has reasonable cause to believe that the information is inaccurate. So all I need is reasonable cause to believe the information is accurate. If I just showed you a picture of your credit report and you saw 3 different reports, 2 of them say one thing, this one says something else, would that not be reasonable to believe that the information is inaccurate? I would say so. I think that's pretty reasonable, right? Reporting information after notice and confirmation of errors. A person shall not furnish information relating to a consumer to any consumer reporting agency if the person has been notified by the consumer at the address specified by the person for such notices that specific information is inaccurate. Address becoming important. Or if the information is in fact inaccurate. So you can dispute information if you just believe it's inaccurate. So just so that you understand this, the burden of proof is not on the consumer. It's on whoever's reporting it, the company or the reporting agency. All right. So it's not on you to have to really prove anything. It's just on you to have to say it's inaccurate. Let me show you why. That's it. That's pretty much it. The only other thing that you have to worry about is when information is verifiable, but I'll save that for charge-offs, all right? The reason why I'm going through this is because I really want you guys to understand, not just watch a video on YouTube. I get it. You want answers fast. That's fine. But when you don't have the answers or people are just feeding you information that's not really helping you, you can go out and get the answers yourself as opposed to trying to ask someone, for it. You can get it yourself. It's all right here. I'll link it in the description. So with that being said, let's move on to how you actually get these late payments removed, how we're going to use this to do it. All right. So if you watch my latest videos with the new method, you should know by now that we're not going to go to the CFPB. Once again, at the time of recording, the CFPB is open. The method is valid. This is just an alternative just in case you want to do this in the future if it's needed. But right now, it's actually not needed, but we're doing it anyway. All right, so you can go to file a complaint, and then you would say, I'd like to file a complaint against a business and have the BBB help me get a resolution to my problem. That's what you would like to do. And then we're going to click on file a complaint. And as you can see here, I just pulled up a Google tab, searched it on Google. Equifax gave me Equifax Information Services, P.O. Box. This is the one in Atlanta. Experian, the one in Allen, Texas. TransUnion, P.O. Box, the one in Chester. So, I mean, you could simply just Google this stuff and you could find it very, very easily. And then you'll just match that up with what you search in the BBB. And then as you can easily see, Equifax Credit Information Services, I typed it in and this came up. But if I scroll down, I could easily find the one that I'm looking for. So Equifax Inc. P.O. Box 740256. We can go over here and match it. What do you know? 740256, same exact one right here. If you don't know any of them, just Google it, look it up, type it into this search until you find the one that you're looking for. You may have to type it in various ways, but eventually you will find the one that you are looking for. So once we've confirmed our mailing address and we know exactly where the dispute is going, we have a few questions right here. Now, is this complaint solely about buyer's remorse? It is not. Is this an employee complaint? It is not. Does your complaint seek criminal penalty? It does not. Has this complaint been filed in court? It is not. And are you a business attempting to collect money? You are not. So you would select no, 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 and then continue. Now, this is very important. You want to make sure that you enter all your information, but you especially want to enter your email address. Reason being, the BBB will ask you to confirm this dispute to make sure that you actually were the one that sent it. They will confirm that by sending it to your email. So it's very important that you use an actual email where they can respond to, okay? So now we are on step 1 of your complaint. Now it says here, note, to help others evaluate this business, your complaint details may be added to the business profile for this business on bbb.org. Please do not include any personal identifiable information, including credit card numbers or your social security number. When you tell us about your problem, BBB may edit your complaint to protect the privacy rights of yourself and others. Now, did this issue occur in the last 12 months? You want to say yes. Does your complaint involve a health issue or a health care provider? The answer is no. In this section, this is where you're going to describe your problem with the late payment. So I'm just going to copy and paste this here. And you guys can copy this. If you do it verbatim, I would just change up a few words, just a little bit, just to make it slightly off than what you see here. You don't want it to be the exact same. But we're going to go over everything that it says and why we're using it in the first place. So I recently reviewed my credit report and noticed an account that was not reporting accurately. I had a late payment on an account that was in fact paid on time. The consumer reporting agencies have need to report all information with complete accuracy. So I even made a typo there. And typos are okay. It just looks more human, honestly. But the consumer reporting agencies need to report all information with complete accuracy. This account has not been late on payments. I've attached a copy of my credit report to this complaint on the following dates. That's where you insert the date. Now, here is my recommendation when it comes to late payment disputes. I recommend you only dispute one late payment or no more than 2 at a time. If you try to shoot for 2 and it doesn't work, try again, but just do 1. So in the example that we're using, I recommend just using the 1 for Equifax, getting that changed, and then going back and doing a dispute for the other 2. So then everything shows as paid on time. When you insert the date, you'll always do the month and the year. 2 digits for the month, 2 digits for the year. You'll always insert it like that. Okay. Now, I demand this payment be updated to paid on time immediately. You cannot report information with knowledge that this information has errors. I have substantial doubts about the accuracy of the information. Please update this information to paid, never late. So I'm going to leave this right here. So if someone wants to screenshot it, you can screenshot it, then copy it so you can have that for your notes. But the important part that I'm trying to really stress here is all the information that I stated was like a general paragraph that I just wrote up. And then if you look at it, it says right here, I demand that this payment be updated immediately. You cannot report information with knowledge that this information has errors. We got that right from the FCRA. We didn't state the US code. We didn't do that. All we did was just say, hey, you can't report this with knowledge that the information is inaccurate. And it's not even that the information is inaccurate. There's reasonable doubt. So I said in the next sentence, I have substantial doubts about the accuracy of the information. Please update the account to paid, never late. So with the credit bureaus, you're more than likely to get an update before you get a deletion. So usually this is very easy for them to actually do. I would say the only difficult part about a late payment is that it is very tedious to do this one by one. Because for the most part, it's easy to do one. Trying to get 10 late payments changed at one time, I think it's very unlikely that that's going to happen. All right. It's very unlikely. So again, I suggest no more than 2, but I recommend just 1. There is no amount to enter for the amount of money that you paid. If you want to enter the account number of your account, then you can enter that information here. It's okay. It's optional. That's only if you think for whatever reason they'd have a hard time identifying the account. If so, add it right here. You're going to go to your desired resolution. What you want to do is correction to a credit report. That is your desired resolution. You will then upload the screenshot that you had, okay? You will upload the screenshot that you took with the circle of the late payments showing why this is inaccurate. You will also include a copy of your driver's license, all right? You will include a copy of your social security card. You will also include a copy of your proof of address. You need this because if you do not add this on there, the credit bureaus will say they cannot identify who you are. It is a stall tactic. If you don't add that information, they will stall you by responding with that, and then you'll have to just go ahead and submit this whole thing over again. Remember at the top right here, it says do not include personally identifiable information, and that's going to be right here in the tell us about your problem section. It doesn't say anything about the supporting documentation, all right? But you need this for the bureaus. It is important. You do need it. If you don't add it, they will stall you out. I just want to make note of that. If you don't feel comfortable, send a letter. I mean, it still has to get sent either way, and the bureaus will ask it for you. So if you feel more comfortable with the BBB, then send it through there. If you feel more comfortable with the CFPB, send it through there. If you don't feel comfortable with either of those, send a letter certified. Either way, somehow they have to get it to be able to identify you. So pick whichever one you like, but either way, you'll have to do it. All right, so then you'll hit continue. And then I just put a bunch of fake information here, but your first name, your last name, your email, again, an email that you actually use, your phone number, a street address that should, of course, match the address on your ID and on your credit report. And hopefully you've removed all old addresses from your report and it's only one. And here's the description of the complaint with our desired settlement. And then here, this is optional. You can enter if you are a U.S. active duty service member and if you are willing to help the BBB with the complaint by responding to some additional questions if you would like that. If not, you only need to worry about checking off these three and then you would submit. Now, I'm going to stop right here because I'm not going to submit this complaint. But when you do, you're going to immediately get an email. The email will let you know that this has been sent to the BBB and they're actively working on it. Within around 24 hours, you should get a response asking you to sign into the Better Business Bureau portal. This portal will have a code at the bottom. You will copy that code, you will paste it in, you will now get this entire messaging portal. When you are on that portal, they will ask you to confirm that you are the one that sent this. All you have to do is respond. It's going to be a little white box to respond and type, I authorize this complaint. Send it. After that has been sent, they will respond confirming that they have sent this to the company and they're just a mediator and they're just going to help you get this fixed. It will get sent to the bureaus. Okay. After it's sent to the bureaus, hopefully what we're looking for is an update to what happened. All right. There is a second part to this, but I have another video that I can actually just send you or link it. I'll probably link it right here. You can use that video about when to respond to like late payments with your second round. If need be, ideally, they just update it right away. If for whatever reason they didn't do it, simply respond asking them to verify their investigation. Again, all this is in the FCRA if you really need to get further details. They let you know about how the investigation process works. If you just use verbiage in your own tone, your own voice, but basically translate it from what the FCRA says, you'll likely see lots of deletions. But again, this is just one part. I'll probably be making a part 2 on how to respond afterwards. But for right now, this is how you would get a late payment removed without having to call or send a letter and without using the CFPB and get these updates for inaccuracies on your credit report. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. When it comes to updating all of these credit repair videos for this alternative method, I believe I'm only going to be doing maybe 4 more, and that's going to be on maybe the 2 more options for late payments that I want to show you how to respond, and then they're going to all be through the BBB going forward. I also want to update at least 1 for charge-offs, and then possibly 1 more for charge-offs where I talk about alternative methods or different types of inaccuracies and how you can put this together and figure it out using the FCRA. That's the Fair Credit Reporting Act. All right. I'm going to make you guys self-sufficient so you can do this on your own. So no matter what happens, you will be able to figure out how to dispute your credit reports on your own. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. If this video actually helped you, if you were able to get your late payments updated, please respond in the comments below. The CFPB method is still working. So, hey, if you want to watch that video, if you just watch this one and you're unaware, it does still work. I think the CFPB is just slightly more convenient than the Better Business Bureau. But either one, it pretty much will give you the same results. So as long as you use one of these methods, it should work for you. If you want that one, I'll probably link it at the end of this video so you can watch that. And if you have any additional questions, please leave those in the comments as well. And you guys have a wonderful day.